Test, test, test. Hey, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's good. Okay, thank you, Kim. So who have we got in the class? We've got Kim, Art, Orca, and Lurpy. What's your name?
My name is Shogun.
Okay. How do you spell that?
Shogun.
I'll just change your name then. Okay, so I can read it. All right. Now, you're all Finn students, and let me turn my video on. Okay. So you're all studying at Finn Business School, and in the future, you're all going to be studying in the UK. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you guys decided which university that you're going to study at yet? Kim, how about you? Which university are you going to study at?
Right now, I haven't decided which university I want to go, but my first choice will be UCB.
Okay. Okay. Shuan, how about you?
I have not decided yet.
Okay. Art, how about you?
I also haven't decided.
Walker.
I haven't decided.
Again, sorry?
I haven't decided.
I see. And Lurpy, how about you? Lurpy, which university do you think you're going to be going to? Okay. All right. Now, what we're going to look at this morning is we're going to look at some English that might help you in the university speaking test. Now, depending on the university, you will have a speaking test and you will have a listening test. Okay. And nothing really to worry about, but you do need to prepare for it. Okay. Now, at the moment, most of you have not decided which university you want to go to. But when you do, you're going to need to have quite a lot of details available for the interview. As well as an interview, they may give you a listening test. Okay, so we're going to have a look at a typical listening test this morning. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information. It's probably going to take about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to show you a video of a possible test. And then we're going to practice some test techniques. Okay. All right, so typical speaking test. Now, purpose of the speaking test is to establish your ability to speak English on several topics. So, first of all, they're going to interview you. And the first reason that they're going to interview you is to find out if you can speak English. Okay. Now, the second reason will be to establish your suitability for the course that you have chosen. All right. Now, what does that mean? Well, for example, if you have chosen a course about marketing, but when they speak to you, you don't know anything about marketing. You have no idea what marketing is. Does that mean that you're suitable for that course? What do you think? So let me ask the question again. If you have chosen marketing, but if someone chooses a marketing course and they go for an interview, and in the interview, it's clear to the university that they don't know anything about marketing. They have no idea what it is, but they've chosen it as a course. Does that suggest that they are suitable for the course that they have chosen?
No.
So, alongside English, they're going to try to establish whether you're going to be okay on the course. And if you're to do that, they're going to be asking you questions about the topic area. Okay. Now, they're not going to be difficult questions, but as I said, you need to be aware of what they're going to do. And when you're ready, you can prepare for it. Okay. So let's have a look at the speaking test. As I said, the speaking test is usually an interview. It's going to be 10 or 15 minutes long. Okay. And it's always an interview with a native speaker. And there's going to be two parts of the test. There's going to be phase one, and that is going to be general questions about your current situation. So your current situation is what's happening now. So for all of you, your current situation is you're studying at Finn Business School. But they're going to ask you about your study, but they could also ask you about many, many different topics. For example, your family, any work that you do, what you do in your free time, your plans for the future, these types of questions. In the second part of the test, phase two, they're going to give you a topic and they're going to ask you to speak on the topic for between 1 and 2 minutes. Now, if any of you have done the IELTS speaking test, it's very much like part 2 of the IELTS speaking test. They give you a topic and you have to speak about that topic for 1 to 2 minutes. The topic will be given to you on a card or a piece of paper, but generally, I imagine most of you will not be going to the university. It will be sent to you on Zoom. And the topics will be very, very general, and they will be things that you should have some experience of. Now, they will say that you need to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, but 2 minutes is better. So you should practice trying to speak for the whole 2 minutes. Okay. When you are taking your interview, you'll need a piece of paper and a pencil, and you're going to need that to write some notes. Okay, so you need that available when you are doing your interview. Okay, so let's have a look at these two phases. Phase one is very general questions about you. What do you do? What are you doing at the moment? Where are you living? Tell me about your family. Questions like about study. These questions are not very difficult, so they are more related to accuracy. What does accuracy mean? Anybody? So in English speaking, you need accuracy. What does it mean? Accuracy means that you can speak without making many mistakes. Okay. So the questions in phase one are going to be quite straightforward. They're going to be quite simple. Because they're simple, you shouldn't make too many mistakes. And that's what I mean by testing accuracy. They're testing how many mistakes you make. Phase two is more related to fluency. What does fluency mean? Here, what does fluency mean? Orca. Sure, it's a term that you've heard. What does fluency mean? Kim, how about you? What does fluency mean?
I think it might be you're not pausing too much when you're speaking and it's flowing.
Exactly. Okay, native speakers are very fluent. That's what we say, they are fluent speakers. Fluency is the ability to speak for a very long time. Now, if you are fluent, you can speak for a long time. It may mean that you will make more mistakes, but that's not going to be such a big problem in phase two. Okay. They don't want you to make too many mistakes, but they're testing your fluency. So they will accept a few more mistakes than in part one. Okay. So let's look at phase one. Phase one lasts about 4 to 5 minutes, and you're going to get questions on things like where you live now, where you come from, your family, your interests, your study, your work, etc. And of course, they're going to talk about your future plans. Okay? Now, you need to prepare for your interview. Just give me one moment, please. Okay, you need to prepare for your interview. Now, as I said, they're going to test your English, but they also want to know, are you good for the bachelor's degree program that you have chosen? So they're going to ask you lots of different types of questions. Now, they're not going to ask you all these questions, but they're going to ask you some of these types of questions. So, for example, they're going to ask you about your motivation and your interest. So motivation is your need to do something. You want to do something, so you're motivated to do it. And they're going to ask you this question: why do you want to attend this university? Now, most of you have said that you don't know which university you're going to choose. But when you do choose a university, you don't just go to the interview and hope it's okay. They're going to need to know that you have really thought about that university and you've chosen that university because it's the best university for you, not for any other reason. Okay. So question is, why did you choose that university and why not the other universities? Okay. So they're going to ask you questions. For example, why do you want to attend this university? And they're going to need answers, for example, about their program, about their course, about how their program will help you in the future. So why do you want to study at that university? And question, why do you want to study this subject now? Again, most of you haven't decided what you want to study. I imagine some of it will be business related. And the question is why? Why have you chosen the subject at the university that you have chosen, and why have you chosen that university? Why is the course at that university the best university for you? So you need to explain that to your interviewer. Okay. They also want to know something about you. They want to know a little bit about the person that you are. So they may ask you a question such as, how would your friends describe you? Would they say that you are hardworking? Would they say that you are creative? Would they say that you're a team player? How would your friends describe you? Gamsai, how would your friends describe you, do you think? Nikki, how about you? How would your friends describe you? People who know you, what would they say about you think?
Maybe fun personality and easy to talk to.
Okay, all right. Nay, how about you? Here, what about yourself? Art, how about you?
They often tell that I'm fun. I'm a good listener. Yeah.
Okay. Chilton, how about you?
People often tell me I have a friendly personality and I am also funny.
I see. Okay, Kim, how about you?
They always say that I have a lot of confidence and I have a lot of creativity.
Okay, all right. So those are good answers, but you need to work on them, all right? It's an opportunity for you to show two things, why you are going to be good on the course, but also that you have good vocabulary, okay? So they're going to ask you about academic and extracurricular engagement. So engagement means what you are doing at the moment. What does extracurricular mean? Anybody familiar with that term? No? Okay. Extracurricular means more than the curriculum. Now, for example, at Finn College, Finn Business School, you have a number of subjects that you need to study. And if you complete all of those courses, then that's great. You will have passed the course. But extracurricular engagement is learning about things that maybe not on your course. A little bit more than is on your course. So for example, they may ask you, what are you reading at the moment? Okay. So it could be a leisure book, but they're probably going to be more interested in what you're reading that's related to the course that you're taking and the course that you want to take. Okay. So this can be a discussion of the books and articles that you're reading at the moment. All right. Now, perhaps some of you are not doing any reading, but it would be a really good idea to find out some books that might be relevant for the course that you're taking now and the course that you're taking in the future, so that you can talk about those books even if you're not really reading them. Okay. They may ask you about an achievement that you are most proud of. So this could be something at university, or it could be something personal. It could be something from school. So for example, you got the best score in an exam. Personal, maybe you ran a half marathon. Extracurricular, maybe you did some work for your local community. It could be anything, something that you have achieved that you are very proud of. Previous studies. Okay, so this will be talking about what you have studied maybe at school, but probably for the first 2 years at Finn Business School. Okay. Discuss your previous education, subjects you excelled in. So subjects you excelled in means subjects that you do very, very well, and any notable achievement. So what subjects do you guys do really well in? Kim, how about you? What do you think you're very good at?
When I'm in middle school, I think I'm quite good at math.
So when I am in middle school, should be past tense, when I was at middle school.
Oh, when I was in middle school, I'm quite good in math.
You're good at math.
Okay, I'm good at math.
Okay. So what about at Finn Business School? What subject do you excel in at Finn Business School?
I haven't studied many subjects, so I don't know yet what subject I am good.
So how long have you guys been studying now?
About 6 months.
I'd say. Shelton, how about you? What do you think you're good at? What were you good at school?
In my high school, I'm good in math and science.
So past
But-
tense, I was good.
Oh, I was been good at math and science, but in business school, I'm not sure yet because I'm just studying.
Okay, thank you. Art, how about you? Orca, what are you good at?
When I was at high school, I'm good at science.
Uh-huh. So high school is the past. I was good at science.
I was good at science.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm not sure.
You're not sure. So
Yeah.
you haven't got any feedback from any of the courses that you studied, no?
I have already, but I'm not sure which one I
So which course at Finn Business School have you got the best results in?
I'm not sure. I forgot.
Okay.
We haven't received the exam results.
You haven't received exam results, but you have feedback for your assignments, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, some assignments must have been better than another. Hiwa, how about you?
I think when I was in school, I good at social studies. Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay. And okay, Mickey, how about you?
I was good at history.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gamsai, how about you?
In high school, I was good at science, but about business, I'm not sure. Maybe marketing.
Mm. Okay. All right. So, can you understand why it's going to be important for you to be sure? All right, when you do this interview. Okay. I'm not sure it's not going to be a great answer. Now, I understand your situation at the moment, but when you finish Finn Business School, that'll be like 2 years. That's plenty of time to prepare. You should be able to tell them quite clearly what you're good at and notable achievements, things that you've achieved that were important. What have you enjoyed most about your previous studies? So again, at the end of 2 years, what did you enjoy? What topics did you enjoy? What projects did you enjoy? What activities? Oops. Okay. Now, when you apply for a university, you will be applying for a particular course, and they need to be sure that you are sure this is the course that's good for you. They need to be sure that you have done some research into the course. They need to be sure that you have been serious about what you are applying for. Now, why do they need to know that? Because if you take the course and you fail it, it's going to be bad for the university. The university has to present its results to the British government every year on pass and fail. So if they get people failing, it's not good for the university. So they need people who they are sure you know about the course, you know what you're going to be studying, and you have thought about it, and you know that it's the right course for you. So you need to research the course. That means you need to look at the university's website. You need to think about the course. You need to understand what the course will teach you, what projects you will do on the course, what modules there are, what subjects that you're going to be learning. You need to show them that you really do know what you are talking about. Okay. Okay, what's happening here? Okay, good. Well, just give me a minute. Can you see the presentation? I'm having a few problems with my PowerPoint. Can you see the presentation? Guys, can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your reply. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, good. Now, so skills and experience. Now, I know you're very young and maybe you don't have much experience, but they need to know about your academic background, any skills that you have, communication skills, time management, teamwork, anything that you think will make you good at that course. Okay. And you need to give examples of personal skills. Now, some of you said that you're Friendly? Give examples. Don't just say I'm friendly. Okay. Critical thinking, time management. Give examples of maybe a project that you had to manage or an activity that you had to manage. Can you give an example of a time when you demonstrated leadership, teamwork, or problem solving? So they're going to ask you about a time when you were in charge, maybe of a project or maybe of an assignment, and you had to work with other people. So at school, there are plenty of opportunities for this, that you do this quite often at school in Thailand. So probably one of the examples of what happened at school would probably be very good. How do you think this course will help you achieve your career goals? Okay, so your career goals, what does it mean? It means what you want to do in the future. So what do you want to do in the future? Let's listen to you. Kim, what about you?
I want to open a language school
You want to open a language school? Okay, why a language school?
because I'm the one who not study English when I was young. I started studying when I was grow up, and I still have a problems that is really hard to fix, and I think I understand them, so I want to help.
Okay, that's a great answer. All right, good. Showen, how about you? What job are you aiming to do in the future, or what career?
I wanna start like business, my own business, or like drop shipping.
Drop shipping. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Art. How about you?
I also want to run my own business.
What type of business?
So I'm thinking about like fashion related.
Fashion related.
Right.
All right. Orca, how about you?
I haven't know yet.
You don't know yet. Okay. Piwa, how about you?
I think in the future, I want to make my own business, like about branding something. Yeah.
I see. Mickey, what about you?
Start my own business, maybe sports related.
Okay. And game science, what about you? What do you think you're going to do?
I think I'm going to do my own business.
And what sort of business will it be?
Like I'm not sure yet. Maybe about cosmetic branding, or do my family business.
And what's your family business?
Aluminum factory.
An aluminium factory. Okay. All right. So look, what you've got to do is you've got to look at the course content, right? The course that you're going to take at university, how will it help you to do what you want to do? If you're going to do a business about aluminium, if you're going to do a course about a business about fashion, if you're going to do drop shipping, you need to explain to them how their course will help you to achieve what you want to do in the future. And that way they know that you're serious about the course. That way they will know that you have really studied the course content and you know what you're going to be taking. Okay. So talk about your career plans, what you're going to do in the future. Okay. Current issues in the field of interest do you find most intriguing? All right, so current affairs and industry knowledge. What are they talking about here? What do they need to know from you? Okay, well, current trends, what happening now? Okay, the things that are happening right now, and challenges are problems. Now, why do they want to know about this? They want to know that you are, looking at what's happening in the world, not just following your course, and that you are aware of sort of like the situation around the world and how it might impact your business that you do in the future. Okay. So they may ask you some questions about this. So right now, what's the biggest problem in business right now for everybody, whatever your business is? If you're doing business in Thailand, what's the biggest problem right now? And it's only been a problem for maybe 50 days. Anybody aware of any problems that have occurred like in the last 50 days? No?
I think it might affect the condo business because of the earthquake.
Okay, so that's one. People have lost confidence in building because the building fell down very easily during an earthquake. It wasn't a very strong earthquake. Okay, that's a really good example. Are there any other examples of things maybe that's happened in the last 50 days that would cause problems for business? Anybody else got any examples? No? Who's the new president of the United States? Anybody know?
Yeah, Donald
Donald
Trump.
Trump.
Okay, and why is he a problem? Why is the new president a problem for business everywhere in the world?
Tariff
Again, sorry?
Tariff tax.
Tariff taxes. Okay. So can you explain what tariff is? So for example, a tariff is if Thailand is sending products to America, America's going to put a tariff of 36% on everything. And that means that, for example, if you sell some product for 100 baht, when it arrives in America, it's going to cost 136 baht. And that means it's going to be, everything from Thailand is going to be more expensive. And that's a problem. And it's a problem for everybody. Tariffs on China. How much are the tariffs on China? Anybody know? So products from China, they're going to put tariffs of 26%, I think it is, 25 or 26, 126%. Now, how much is an iPhone in Thailand? If you buy an iPhone, how much is it? Nobody has an iPhone? I don't believe you.
40,000 baht.
40,000 baht. So in the United States, when they put tariffs on, that means it's going to cost 80,000 baht, 25%. It's going to cost 90,000 baht to buy an iPhone. So this is a very serious situation for every business in the world, and it's a current issue. And that's the sort of thing that they're going to be interested in learning from you. Now, again, they're testing your English, but they want to know that you are interested in the subject that you want to study, that you're active, you're involved in it. As a result, they're going to ask you questions about what's happening in the world right now. All right. So good. It's good that you know about the tariffs. How do you stay informed about developments in your area of interest? So if you're interested in fashion, how do you learn about fashion? If you are interested in drop shipping, how do you learn about developments in that area? And if you're interested in cosmetics, how do you learn about new cosmetics, about new products? Typically, people learn about this by looking at things like TikTok, but that's not really a good source of information. They'll be expecting you to talk about journals, which are magazines, which are just for that industry, or websites or professional groups that are related to the industry that you're interested in. Okay. All right, so how do you see yourself contributing to the university community? So a community is a group of people who live and work together. And in the United Kingdom, the universities see themselves as part of the community, part of the local community. So how are you going to help the community? Are you going to do things like go to clubs? Are you going to, and don't mean nightclubs, clubs at the university, volunteer for different activities, maybe helping homeless people or helping the poor? Or are you going to go and get involved in academic discussions, that type of thing? So you need to explain how you're going to benefit the university, how you're going to take part in the university community. Okay, so what did you enjoy about your previous studies? Very general questions. What are your strengths and weaknesses? So what are you good at? What are you not so good at? Okay. If you talk about your weaknesses, try to explain that you're trying to develop them, you're trying to make them stronger. So when you choose a university, find out about the university. Find out as much as you can about the university. Now, for example, I had one student the other day who chose a university which is in Wales, and he said it was in England. And it's a completely different country. There are 4 countries in the United Kingdom. If you don't know where the university is located, then they might think that you're not serious about the university. Find out where it's located. Find out about the programs. Find out about the course. Find out about what is special about that university. And you're going to need some practice with practicing interviews, practicing your responses in interviews. So the more practice that you get, the better it's going to be. And at the end of the interview, they're very likely to ask you, do you have any questions? And it's never a good idea to say, no, I don't have any questions. If you say, no, I don't have any questions, it seems like maybe you're not quite as interested in the course or the university as you should be. Prepare some questions, just 1 or 2, something about the program, something about the university, to show them that you're very interested in what they are doing. You're going to do an interview, and so when you do an interview, you need to dress like it really is an interview. Even if you're on Zoom, you don't want to be wearing casual clothes. Maybe if you're a guy, wear a tie. If you're a girl, wear smart dress. Okay, why? That'll be your first impression. If your first impression is poor because of the way you dress, it's difficult to get over. Okay, so they're going to talk to you about the university, and we just looked at some of the topics that they might talk about and they might ask you about. But there are topics about other things as well. They may ask you to talk about various people. It could be a person that you admire, somebody in your family, maybe a teacher, somebody that you think is important for some reason. Okay. They may ask you to talk about your previous experiences. They might talk about, for example, a time you learned something new or you received some good news or an interesting conversation that you had. Now, these topics are going to come up in the second part of the test in phase 2. And we'll look at phase 2 in a moment. In phase 2, they may ask you to speak for 1 or 2 minutes on a job you'd like to have, a teacher or trainer who inspired you, a course that you might like to take in the future. Anything. The topic could be anything at all. So here is an example of a topic that they may give you. After part 1, they ask you about, in part 1, they ask you about yourself. They ask you about, what you think about the university, about the course, what you know about the details of the program. In phase 2, they're going to ask you to speak on a topic. It will be a very general topic. And for example, this topic is very, very general. Talk about your favorite birthday. Describe your favorite birthday. You should talk about why it was your favorite, what happened, and who was there. Now, what's the goal? The goal is to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. But actually, the goal is to speak for the whole 2 minutes. So again, this is the sort of thing you're really going to need to practice doing. We're going to practice them today. Okay. Now, in the topic, there are 3 topics that you can talk about. Why it is your favorite. Okay? Why is it your favorite birthday? What happened and who was there? But you can create your own topics, right? So long as it's related to the main topic of favorite birthday, you can think of your own things to talk about. So for example, we've got what here, but we don't have where. So you could speak for a few minutes on where your birthday took place, the location of your birthday. We don't have when, so you could talk about when your birthday took place. Was it your 16th birthday? Was it a special date? Was it a special year? We've got a why it was your favorite, and we've got a who was there, but we don't have a which. So you could talk about which presents you got, which presents you enjoyed the most. You could talk about how you felt. You could talk about how the food was. There's a number of different topics that you could discuss. Okay. Now, keep in mind, you have a topic, you have 3 items here. That's not going to be enough really to speak for the whole 2 minutes. So you need to think of more things to say. When you are planning to speak, you have a piece of paper, and if you try to write a story, you're going to run out of time. You're only going to get 1 minute to prepare. So don't try to write sentences, just write down some words, write down some ideas. The words will help you to create sentences, and you don't need to write everything in detail, just maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4 at the most. These words are intended to help you remember what you are going to say. All right, now I'm going to give you an example video here. So I just need to share this again with you. Just give me a moment.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, this is not a Zoom interview. This is a physical interview. But let's see what they can do. Okay, this is an example of the sort of interview that you will get, but yours will be on Zoom. Okay, so here we go. This is about 10 minutes long. So I just want you to look at it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Phil Smith. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Sausan Hassan.
Thank you. And can you tell me where you're from?
I'm from Syria.
Can I see your identification?
Yes, sure.
Okay, can you hear it okay? Can you hear the video okay?
Yes, I can hear it.
Okay, great. Off we go.
Thank you, that's fine. Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
I'm a student.
And what subject are you studying?
English literature.
Why did you choose this subject?
Well, I like literature very much, and English is international language, so English literature is one of the best majors I've ever studied, so I like it very much.
What do you hope to do when you finish your studies?
Well, I'm planning to complete my higher studies. I'll be doing an MA, and eventually I'll be doing a PhD to be a professor in English literature.
Now let's talk about weekends. What do you usually do the weekend?
Well, usually I go to visit my relatives or even friends, but sometimes I stayed at home just for if I have exams or something to study, so I just stay at home. But most of my time, actually, I spend it with my friends, going out for to drink something or to have fun, enjoy it.
What do you think you'll do next weekend?
Well, next weekend I have to go to a trip to York, and I'm so excited about it. Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I've heard that York, it's a very ancient city, so and the Vikings were there, and I like the ancient things and I like history.
Do you enjoy your weekends now more than you did when you were a child?
Well, not really. When I was a child, I just spent all my weekends playing, but now I have lots of concerns. Sometimes I have to stay at home to study. So no, when I was a child, I enjoyed it most.
How important is it for you to relax at the end of the week?
Well, it is very important because you just relax out of the whole week because you were studying or working. So you need peace and relax and sometimes to take a great time of sleeping just to prepare yourself for the next week.
Let's talk about music. What sort of music do you usually enjoy listening to?
Well, I like music very much because I'm a singer myself. I like to sing, so I have a great taste of music. I like the classical, I like the Arabic music, and so music is very important. I have to listen to music all the day.
Has the kind of music you like changed over the years?
Well, yes, it changed because I used to listen to the almost I mean it's slow music, and nowadays it's just very fast, and sometimes techno, and I don't like this kind of music. I still listen to the music that I liked, and I still have the same CDs, and all the time I listen. I sometimes listen to this music, the new music, but I don't like it. I just like to listen to to the music that I liked when I was a child.
Do you prefer listening to live music or recorded music?
Well, recorded. I don't like live music because
Oh.
because I feel always the singer is not good in live music, so I feel that recorded is better.
Do you think listening to music helps you study?
Yes, I always listen to music when I'm studying. Sometimes my friends make fun of me because I'm not concentrating, but actually it makes me more concentrated.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make notes if you wish. You understand?
Yes.
Here's some paper and a pencil for making notes. And here's your topic. And I'd like you to describe a special gift or present you gave to someone. Well, remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if we stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you stop speaking now, please?
Okay. The special gift actually I gave to my mother, and it was a necklace in the Mother Day. And actually I've been to different shops to search for what am I going to give my mother, because giving her anything is just, you feel it, it's very simple. But I looked for different shops, and I then decided to take a very lovely necklace. And it wasn't that much expensive because I was I had the money for it. So, and I asked the salesman to wrap it for me in a very colored papers, and I just tried to put the red tie in it, and then I hide it in my I didn't tell her about it till the party, because we usually make a party for my mother in the Mother Day. So I didn't tell her about it till at the party. And when I gave it to her, she was really happy very much, and she was almost in tears because she really liked it. And she told me, no matter how simple it is, since you think about giving me anything, so that's really great. So I was really happy for really giving her this present, and she's wearing it every time when she goes out, or and she always tell her friends about it. Look what what my daughter brought to me in the Mother Day. So I really was proud and happy that she really like it. And so every time I see it, she really she's really proud of it. And
Do you enjoy giving gifts?
yes, I really enjoy. I like even to take gifts, but I enjoy giving gifts to my friends or to the members of my family, because it shows that you are thinking of them and you really care for them.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet and the paper and pencil back, please?
Yes.
Okay. That's finished. Okay, so that's an example of an interview. Has 2 parts, part 1, part 2. And what we're going to do now, I understand after 1 hour, you're supposed to take a 10-minute break. So we're going to take a 10-minute break right now. When we come back, we're going to practice phase 1, phase 2 of the interview of the speaking test. And later in the class, we're going to do some practice with listening, because you may also get a listening test. But right now, take a 10-minute break. I'll see you back here in 10 minutes. Okay? Okay, I'll assume that you're okay. See you in 10 minutes. Okay, guys, so hopefully you're all back. All right, so we're going to have a look at different parts of the interview. We're going to start by looking at phase one. Okay. And have a look at this. Just give me a minute. Share it properly. Okay. All right. Now, have a look at the list of questions. We've got 10 questions. Just read through the list of questions. They're all very straightforward questions. Tell me a little bit about your hometown. How long have you been living here, there? Tell me a little bit about your study. These are very, very general questions. Okay. Now, just give me a moment. I'm going to need to share the sound. Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to listen to the recording, and we have 4 people here. And what I want you to do is I want you to listen, and which question does each candidate answer? So we got the answer for Svetlana. She answers question 3. What about Huan, Riva, and Matthias? Let's listen to the recording and let's see what happens.
Track 3. Unit 1. Speaking. Exercise 1. A.
Well, I think the people here are very friendly, and I've made a lot of new friends. And the course I'm doing is great. I think I'm learning a lot.
B.
Well, I'm not too keen on flying because you spend too long at airports. But I like train journeys a lot because you see the country as you travel through it. It's quite relaxing.
C.
I find it hard being away from my family and not seeing my friends. You know, I miss them, but apart from that, it's fine.
D.
I've been here since I came to university, so for about 2 years.
Okay, check your answers with your partners. All right, so which question does Huan answer? Which question does Huan answer? No, didn't catch it. All right, let's listen to it again.
Track 3. Unit 1. Speaking. Exercise 1. A.
Well, I think the people here are very friendly, and I've made a lot of new friends. And the course I'm doing is great. I think I'm learning a lot.
B.
Well, I'm not too keen on flying because you spend too long at airports. But I like train journeys a lot because you see the country as you travel through it. It's quite relaxing.
C.
I find it hard being away from my family and not seeing my friends. You know, I miss them, but apart from that, it's fine.
D.
I've been here since I came to university, so for about 2 years.
Okay, So Svetlana is number 3. Okay. What about Riva? Sorry, what about Huan? Which question did he answer? So what about Huan? Which question did he answer? Okay, could you answer my question, do you think? Huan, which question did he answer? Okay, so Huan answered B. And what about Riva? What did she answer?
C is 4, B is 9, D is 2.
So what about Riva? What did she answer? Riva is C. What did she answer?
She said it's difficult and she's learned a lot of
Okay, so she answered question 4. Is that correct?
yes, I think.
And what about Matthias? What did he answer?
Question 2, he said he living for 2 years.
Okay, good. All right. Have a look at these. Exercise 2. Okay. Answer each question briefly. Which of these statements is a good thing to do in phase 1 of your interview? So keep in mind what they're trying to do. They're trying to establish your English ability. So, number 1, answer each question as briefly as possible in 2 or 3 words. So if you answer a question briefly, you give it a very short answer. Is that a good idea in your interview, do you think? Is it a good idea to answer questions briefly with 1 or 2 or 3 words?
No.
Why not? Why? If you only use 2 or 3 words, you're not going to make a mistake. So why is it not a good idea? Well, I agree with you. It's not a good idea. They want to hear your fluency. So no, not a good idea. They want to hear that you can speak fluently. Okay. Give reasons for your answers. Good idea? Not a good idea. What do you think?
Good idea.
Why?
Because it make you fluent by explaining.
So it doesn't make you fluent, but they will be able to see that you are fluent. Okay. So yeah, that's a good idea. And offer extra details. Give more information. Don't just stick to the information that you immediately need. Is that a good idea? Yeah, I think it's a good idea because it's going to improve your fluency, how you sound fluent. Sound interested in what you're saying. Is that a good idea, do you think?
Yes, good idea.
Okay. And repeat the exact words of the question. Is that a good idea?
No,
Why not?
like because I think it's make you look not like fluent, like you didn't understand the questions.
So if you can change the vocabulary and it's the same meaning, that shows you have more vocabulary, right? And that's got to be a good thing for a speaking interview. So no, don't do that. Show them what you can do. Show them all the vocabulary. Speak clearly so the examiner can hear you easily. I think that makes common sense. Okay. All right. So let's listen to the candidates again. Which things in exercise 2 did they all do? Okay, let's listen again.
Track 3. Unit 1. Speaking. Exercise 1. A.
Well, I think the people here are very friendly, and I've made a lot of new friends. And the course I'm doing is great. I think I'm learning a lot.
B.
Well, I'm not too keen on flying because you spend too long at airports. But I like train journeys a lot because you see the country as you travel through it. It's quite relaxing.
C.
I find it hard being away from my family and not seeing my friends. You know, I miss them, but apart from that, it's fine.
D.
I've been here since I came to university, so for about 2 years.
Okay, so what did they all do? Did they answer briefly? No, they didn't answer briefly. Did they give reasons for their answers? Matthias didn't give reasons for his answers, but he did give extra details. Most of them gave extra details, and they all sounded fairly interested in what they were saying. And they all spoke quite clearly, I think, so that the examiner can hear them easily. Okay. All right, let's have a look at exercise number 4. Okay. When you are speaking in English, it's very important to make your English sound a little bit different. Okay. Don't say every word in the same way. We have to stress the important words, and the other words we don't need to stress. So, for example, well, I think the people here are very friendly, made a lot of new friends. The important words we say a little bit stronger than the other words. So what about this one? Well, I'm not too keen on flying because you spend too long at airports. Which are the strong words in that sentence, do you think? Well, certainly not. I'm not too keen on flying because you spend too long at airports. So which words do you think are stressed? Well, certainly flying, because you spend too long at airports. Long and airports, I think, are both stressed. I find it hard being away from my family, not seeing my friends. So which words are stressed there? Certainly hard. I find it hard being away from my family and not seeing my friends. So again, the key words in the sentence you stress so that they are nice and clear. I've been here since I came to university, so for about 2 years. So I've been here since I came to university, so for about 2 years. Okay. All right, great. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to practice interviewing each other. And so I'm going to put you into breakout rooms. And you're going to go into a breakout room with a partner. What I want you to do is I want you to ask each other these 10 questions. So I'm going to send you the questions by chat. If you can look in chat, you will see the questions. Okay. And I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. I want you to join and choose A and choose B. A, interview B with these 10 questions, and B, interview A with these 10 questions. Okay, thanks very much. Okay, one room's going to have more than 2 people in it, so you'll have to take turns. Okay, here we go. Can you join the rooms?
Hi.
Hello.
Yes. So I'm gonna ask you a questions. The first one is, can you tell me a little bit about your hometown?
My hometown. My hometown is Bangkok. Um, there's a lot of building and a lot of things to do.
Oh, where you come from? Like your kid, your district?
Um, um, I'm from Kate, right?
Yeah, district can be.
I'm from Lat Bulana.
Oh, confident. Yes, I see. That's great. Yeah. And uh-huh. And you can ask me the question one.
Can you tell me a little bit about your hometown?
Yes, I come from Khon Kaen. It's a province of Northeastern in Thailand. My hometown is in, the borderline between Korat and Khon Kaen. Yeah, it's called Wolai. Yes. Yeah. So, actually it's nothing here because it's like a countryside. So yeah, when you go to a supermarket, you have to drive for 20 minutes. Yes, that's my hometown.
Okay.
Yeah. And how long have you been living there in your hometown?
I have been living for 6 years.
Wow. Since your middle school?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, and you can
How long have you been living there?
I think it's around 10 years. Yeah, but sometimes I living in the city, not in the countryside. So yeah, but like my home, my home document is in here, Wulai. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And what do you like about living there?
I like um I like because they're close to like transportation and easy to go like around into city.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
do you like about living there?
Yes, I like it because I think it's have a good weather. Yeah, because it's not have in too much car, so it's don't have pollution in here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And is there anything you find difficult about living there?
The thing I find difficult is the traffic.
Mhm.
There's a lot of traffic, so sometimes I get to somewhere late.
Oh. So you go to school, you have to wake up early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, is my difficult is because like I told you earlier that when I go to buy a stuff, I have to drive a 20 minutes, so the distance is my problem. Yeah, because it's long distance. Yeah. It's not yeah, how I say, it's not easily to go anything, any there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And how do you get to school, college, or work?
So now I get to Finland by BTS, but when I was high school, I get by a car.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I get to school by driving. Yeah, sometimes. But yeah, by driving or yeah, when I in Bangkok, I go by BTS or motorcycle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, motorcycle win. Yeah. And tell me a little bit about what you study.
Now I'm studying a lot of things
What kind?
with kind of business. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Like it's kind of a business, hospitality, travel. Yeah. Yeah. What do you like about your study? Is there in you dislike?
I like my study because it can it can use like in the future if I want to use, and there's nothing that I dislike about it.
Oh, that's great. I like about my study that I think is kind of real, like used in real situation. Yeah. And yeah, I think it's have a how do I say? Yeah. Have a like a good thing in when you work which in any occupation. Yeah. But I dislike about the mathematic of the study. Yeah, because I'm not good at math. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, have you traveled to another country?
Yes, I have traveled to a lot of countries.
Yeah.
Which one? I think the best for me is Japan. Yeah.
Japan? Oh.
Yeah, Japan.
Do you enjoy traveling?
Yeah, I enjoy a lot of traveling around.
Yeah, why?
It's fun and get a lot of experience.
Okay. What's your favorite from of travel?
Um, I don't have one.
Like what's food or destination that you travel?
No,
Nothing?
nothing.
Okay. And from me, I travel to actually in Japan, China, yes, and Australia. Yeah, because like for study in Australia, and I enjoy the traveling because I think the main idea of that I enjoy is the weather. Yeah, it's not very hot like in Thailand. Yeah. And what's favorite from travel? I think, yeah, I think it's food because like Japanese and Chinese food, they are popular in Thailand so much that yeah, that's why people eat us. Yeah, it's delicious. And in Australia, they have a lot of international food, like especially in Thai food. Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we finished.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
and we are in the main room.
okay.
Yeah. Let's then finish.
Mm.
Okay, looks like everybody's back. All right, good. So, yeah, very good. You did good answers, those of you who were able to speak. So let's move on. As I said, in part one, they can ask you really any topic, but a very common topic is talking about your family. Yeah, they like to ask you about your family members, what your family do, that type of thing. Okay, so we're going to look at some vocabulary that's related to family. It's a little bit more advanced than normal vocab. And what I want you to do is to tell me where it should go. So, phase one, we've got some adjectives that describe families. We've got same-sex, close-knit, single parent, extended, and nuclear family. Okay. All right, now have a look at this vocab and tell me where it should go. If you don't know, just give it a guess. Let's see what happens. Okay. What type of family is a family where all the members are always friendly and spend a lot of time together? Which word do you think should go in there? Any ideas?
Close-knit.
Yeah, a close-knit family is a family who spend a lot of time together, and they're very friendly, and they know each other very, very well. Okay, good. All right, what about where the parents are both male or female? So there's a lot of families now, particularly in the West, where you don't have a mum and dad, you have a mum and a mum, or a dad and a dad.
Same-sex family.
Same-sex family. Okay, good. Excellent. So, including aunts, uncles, grandparents, everybody lives together. What sort of family do we call that? You've got your mum, you've got aunts, uncles, grandparents, everybody.
Extended family.
It's an extended. Okay, well, say that it's saying extended family, an extended family. Okay, good. Just a mother and father and their children. Now have a look at the options. Tell me which one you think it should be.
Single parent.
Not single parent. Oh,
Okay.
big part. Yeah, it is single parent. My mistake. Yeah, single parent, mum and dad, and their children. And that's it. Nobody else. Okay. And a family with just a mother or just a father. Okay, hang on, maybe let's have a look. Okay, now we'll mix this up a little bit. Just give me a minute. Okay, just a mother and a father and their children. That is what we call a nuclear family. There's nobody else in the family. There are no aunts, no uncles, just the mother and the father and their children. And a family with just a mother or just a father is a single parent family. Okay, so single parent, you only have a mum, you don't have a father, or you have a father, you don't have a mum. Okay, so let's have a look at this vocabulary a little bit. Anybody here, do you all have close-knit families, do you think? What about your families? Are they close-knit? Do you spend a lot of time with your family members? Nobody? Okay. Do you know any same-sex families? Are they popular in Thailand at the moment? What about extended families? Does anybody here have an extended family? So Chinese families are often very extended. Do anybody have an extended family? No comment. Okay. All right, let's move on. So one thing we can do is use some adjectives to describe a family. Another thing we can do is to use phrasal verbs, and phrasal verbs are verbs with prepositions. And generally, if you use a verb with a preposition, you change the meaning of the verb to something else. Okay. So for example, bring means when you go somewhere, you have something with you. But if we add one of these prepositions, it means to educate children and help them to become adults. So what do you think? Which preposition? You educate your children and help them to become adults. Which preposition should go into this gap?
up.
Bring up. Okay, exactly. All right, so if you bring up children, then you, from an early age, from very young age to becoming adults, that's how you bring up children. Go from being a child to an adult. So what does that, what preposition should be with
Grow
that?
up.
Grow up. Okay, good. Okay. Resemble, look like someone, look similar to someone. So children often look like their mum or look like their dad. And when they do, we use a phrasal verb to describe it. What's the phrasal verb? Anybody guess? No? Okay, take after. So if you take after your mum, you look like your mum. If you take after your dad, you look like your dad. So what about you guys? Who do you take after? Here, who do you take after? Your mum or your dad?
Dad.
Mum and dad. There must be one that you look like more.
Dad.
Kim, how about you? Who do you take after?
I think I take after my mom.
And Chuan, who do you take after?
I think I take after my dad.
And Mickey, how about you?
My mom and my dad.
Well, if you take after your mum and your dad, that's quite difficult. Which one do you look like the most? Which one do you take after?
My mom.
Like Orca, how about you?
Mom.
Take care of someone. Which phrasal verb do you think should go in there?
Look after.
Mhm. Okay. And if you respect and admire someone, so children usually respect their parents. So what phrasal verb can we use for that? Look up. Which preposition should go with that? It's two prepositions at this one. Look up.
Look to.
That's right. Look up to. Okay. So if you look up to your mum, then you respect them. Maybe you think your mum works really hard and she does a good job, so you look up to her. Maybe your dad works hard, makes a lot of money for the family, so you look up to him. When someone dies, what's the preposition here?
Pass away.
That's right. Okay, good. Okay. And have a friendly and have a good relationship.
Get along.
Get along with. That's right. You get along with somebody, then you're very friendly with them, you have a good relationship. When married people don't live with each other anymore, what do they do?
Split off.
Not split off, no.
What split after?
Nope.
What's that?
Split up.
Split up. Right? So if your friends, mum and dad, don't live with each other anymore, they split up. Okay. If you live in the same house, then you live, which one?
Live with.
Live with. And what about criticize someone for doing something, usually a little bit angry. Sometimes when you do something wrong, your mum or your dad will speak to you and maybe a little bit angrily, just so that you remember that you have to do something. What's that? When people speak to you a little bit angrily because they're not happy with you, you tell them off. Okay. All right, good. So bring up, educate children, grow up from being young to being an adult, take after, they look like someone. Okay, so look after, take care of. All right, good. So we've looked at these phrasal verbs and we know what they mean. So what I want you to do, have a look at this exercise and I want you to work together and I want you to put the phrasal verb into the sentence, but you need to change the grammar. So let's do maybe one or two together. My children, to be polite. That's why they always say please and thank you. So what? So
Brought up.
Okay, good. So bring up, but the correct grammar must be past tense. They were brought up to be polite. Okay, excellent job. Good. What about number two? Children seem to soon become adults.
Look up to.
No.
Oh, no.
Soon become adults.
Grow
Oh,
up.
grow up.
Okay, so they grow up fast and soon become adults. Okay, 3 to 10, work as a team. In English, talk to each other. What are the answers for number 3, 4, 5 to 10? I'll give you 3 minutes. Go ahead. Work as a team, talk to each other.
She look after her mom.
Oh, which one? Oh, okay, 3. And for number 4, what do you think? I'm not sure with number 4.
Not sure about.
Okay, I'm not sure about number 4. Eee.
Okay, come on, guys, keep going. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay, see you.
Okay, see you in a minute.
Number 4, I think is her children live with.
Her children live with her now that she has become too old to help herself. Oh yeah, maybe. How about number 5?
The children usually take after to the parent. Wait, no. Wait, is it? I'm not sure.
I think live with, isn't it? Children usually live with. No, but it to their parents. Look up to. Maybe. Right. Okay. What do you think for number 6?
Yeah, pass away. I think actually is the answer is the number of the questions already.
Yeah. Yeah, because yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
to
What I have to thinking about.
Yeah.
Oh, it's might about the grammar, isn't it? Oh, I see.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Oh, now we're at number 7. Which number? Okay, number 8. My wife and I split it up. I'm not sure. Hey, not let me talk alone. It's feel weird.
Okay. Not great teamwork. Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
Let's have a look. See what you've got. They look exactly the same. So what should it be?
You take after her mom. Yeah.
And is that correct grammar?
I think it's correct.
I think it's wrong. Think about your basic grammar. I take, she take, he
She
takes,
takes. Right.
he takes. Okay. Important to make those sounds. They're very basic. It's very difficult for Thai students, but it's a very basic mistake. Now, I understand it's just difficult to say, but you need to really try to make that s sound at the end. Her children. Now she has become too old to help herself. I think maybe 2 answers here.
Look after.
So it could be look after. Anything else?
Is already correct.
It is right, but it could be another answer. Now, you also said live with. I think that's also a good option. Okay. Children usually to their parents. Okay, so put that in to help you a little bit. Which one should it be, do you think? Children usually look up to their parents. His mother, when he was young. Any ideas?
Passes away.
So pass away, yes, but not pass it. How do we say it? There's a t sound. Past.
Past.
His mother passed away when he was young. Okay, try that.
His mother passed away when he was young.
Very nice. What about number 7? The family members, very friendly, spend a lot of time together.
Get along with.
Get along with each other. Okay, good. Excellent. My wife and I, last year, she lives in Chiang Mai and I live in Bangkok.
Split it up.
Good
Split.
try, but it's not splitted. It's split, split, split.
Okay.
So it's the same word for present and past. We are divorced, so my son
Lived with.
lived with, no, not past. My son, he, she, it lives with. Okay, what about number 10? It's just one word. It's one of these. Okay, let me help you. Tell my daughter off when she spends too much time on her mobile phone. Okay, so when your daughter spends too much time on a mobile phone, you tell your daughter not to do it. All right, good. So exercise 4. Tell me about your family. Okay. You're going to speak about your family for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay. And no, don't need to do that. 1 minute. 1 minute is fine. Okay. So what I want you to do, think about your family. Think about how you could describe them. Okay. And I'm going to give you a bit of time to prepare. Then I'm going to put you back into breakout rooms so you can describe your family to your partner. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute to have a think. So Renji, I'm not going to put you in a class in a room because you can't speak because of your microphone. Try and fix your microphone for Friday if you can. Okay. Don't worry about today. Okay, I'm going to put you in rooms so that you can talk about your family to your partners. Go ahead. Okay, guys. All right, you've done quite well. Do you want to take a 10-minute break?
Yes.
Or do you want to continue? Okay, I think take a 10-minute break because you've been studying for over an hour now. Take 10 minutes, and when we come back, we'll do a little bit of listening practice. Okay? All right, see you in 10 minutes. Okay, guys. So we're going to do some listening practice. And what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to turn to page 5 of the document that you were sent this morning. Okay. This is very important vocabulary. When you go to the United Kingdom, it's colder, there's more rain, you might feel quite ill, you might have to go to the doctor more often than in Thailand. So when you go to the doctor in the UK, you need to explain to him or her what the problem is. So we've got here 12 medical problems. None of them are serious, but they are the sort of thing that you go to a doctor for in the UK. So let's have a look at the vocab. Sore throat, sneezing, diarrhea, a headache, backache, cough, dizziness, runny nose, nausea, vomiting, spots, rash, and temperature. Okay. All right, what about number 1? What do you think she's doing? What's her problem?
A cough.
He's got a cough. Okay, good. And what about number 2? What's he doing?
Sneezing.
Sneezing. Good. What about number 3? Now, sometimes you get these tiny little spots somewhere. Maybe they itch. They're not serious, but what are they called? Anybody know? Maybe some people get these when they touch some animal. Some people cannot play with cats, or they get these small spots.
A rash.
It is a rash. Very good. And what about number 4? Teenage problem.
Spots.
Spots.
Spots. All right. What about number 4? What's number 5? What's the problem with number 5? What's number 5's problem?
Runny nose.
Right. Needs a tissue. It's got a runny nose. Needs to dry his nose. What about number 6?
Headache.
A headache. Good. Okay. And number 7?
Backache.
Backache. And number 8?
Sore throat.
Sore throat. Well, number 9.
Nausea and vomiting.
No, I don't think it is. I think this number 11 is nausea and vomiting. Nausea is when you feel sick, and vomiting is when you are sick. Okay, so I think he's being sick. So what about number 9? Any other ideas? When you go to the toilet a lot.
Diarrhea.
It is, that's what it's called, diarrhea. You go to the toilet a lot because you have a problem with your stomach. It's called diarrhea. Okay, excellent. What about number 10? What do you think the problem is for number 10? Everything's spinning around. What do you say in Thai? Mount Moon, right?
Dizziness.
Dizziness. Okay, so the adjective is dizzy. He's dizzy. Dizziness is the problem. So, what's the problem with number 12?
Temperature.
A temperature. Okay, so normally your body temperature should be 96.5. Anything above that, it's going to be too hot. Okay, so good. Have a look at these symptoms. Okay. So we've got some illnesses here, and which of these symptoms match the illness? So what about the flu? If you have the flu, which of these 12 symptoms could you show? Or perhaps you could show a cough, right? Anything else? If you have the flu, what's flu in Thai? Kai Wat Yai, right? What symptoms would you suffer from if you had the flu? Well, you very probably have a cough. You may have a runny nose, perhaps sneezing, but almost certainly a temperature. What about a cold? Just a normal cold. What symptoms would you suffer from if you had a cold? Anybody? All right, well, you probably have a cough and sneezing, perhaps a runny nose, but you would not have a temperature. Your body would not be too hot. That's the difference between the flu and a cold. If you have a cold, your body temperature does not increase. What about an allergy? Which symptoms show an allergy?
A rash.
Okay, so say some people have an allergy to cats and dogs, and if they play with cats and dogs, they get a rash. What about food poisoning? Food poisoning is when you eat old food that has bacteria in it. What are you going to suffer from, do you think?
Diarrhea.
Probably diarrhea. Anything else? Maybe nausea and vomiting. Okay. What about chicken pox? Anybody familiar with this? So this is something that you can catch, and it is quite common in the United Kingdom. It's less common in Thailand, I think. It's a skin disease. Well, chicken pox is something that you can catch from another person. Right? And typically, you're going to get spots when you have chicken pox. So you get some type of rash. Overtiredness. If you have overtiredness, you are too tired. What symptoms do you think you could suffer from if you are just too tired?
Dizzy.
Perhaps dizziness. Probably a headache. Okay. And bronchitis. Bronchitis is in your lungs. So it's a disease that you get in your lungs. So what are you going to get? What symptoms you're going to get if you have bronchitis?
A sore throat.
Perhaps a sore throat. Anything else?
Cough. Sneezing.
Cough. Not sure about sneezing, but you certainly will have a cough and a sore throat. All right, good. Now, you're going to listen to somebody going to a university doctor. So when you go to university in the UK, very typically there will be a doctor available if you have a problem. And you're going to listen to somebody going to a doctor at a university. And what you need to do is you need to listen to the recording and you need to write down the details that you hear. Look at the instructions. You're going to write no more than one word or a number. So it can be a word, can't be 2 words, can't be 3 words. It can be a number, can't be 2 words, can't be 3 words, and it cannot be a word and a number. It's just word or number. Okay. So before you listen to the recording, think about, predict what information you're going to need and need to listen to answer the question. So what about this? Student Health Sales Center, medical record, faculty of, what information is going to go in here, do you think? Faculty. Normally, where do you have a faculty? You have a faculty at a university. Faculty is students studying a certain subject. So what's going to go in number 1? If you can't explain, give me an example. Faculty of what? Well, it's going to be what subjects students study. So, for example, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Science, Faculty of English. What information is going to go
Faculty
in?
of
Faculty of what?
Of business.
Could be that. Exactly.
Right.
What about address? 13 Street. What do we need in here? We need the name of the street. Okay. And number 3, telephone. What we're gonna need to add here?
Telephone number.
Telephone number. Okay. So before you listen, look at the questions and think about what you need to listen to. Let's do the same for 4 to 6. No more than 3 words. So it can be 1 word, it can be 2, it can be 3, but it can't be 4. Serious illnesses or accidents. What's number 4 going to be? Well, illnesses, is it going to be any of these? Probably not. These are not serious. Serious illness could be something like heart disease. You have a problem with your heart. Accidents. Maybe you had an accident sometime in the past. So you're going to write down the details of somebody's illness or the accident that they suffered in the past. Operations. What's an operation? What does it mean? So if you have a problem with, let's say you have a problem with your stomach, what do you normally do? You normally go to hospital, and often they will give you an operation, and that means maybe they need to cut open your body, and they may need to search inside your body to find out what the problem is. So those are operations, and you're going to write down the type of operation that this person had. And allergies, well, what allergies do they have? Cats, dogs, dust, dirt? Okay, so I'm going to play the recording. Let me share it again, make sure it's got sound. Go. I'm going to play the recording, and what I want you to do is to write down the details. Okay? Go to questions 1 to 6. Here we go.
Listening Section 1. At the doctor's. Exercise 2. Listen to the conversation between Martin and his doctor and answer questions 1 to 6.
Can you hear that okay?
Yes, we can hear that.
Great. Okay, so listen to that conversation and write down the details.
Good morning.
Morning.
Come in. Sit down. Now, you're a new patient, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so I'd better get some basic details down first. Right, we'll start with your name.
Martin Hansen.
Do you spell that S-O-N or S-E-N?
H-A-N-S-E-N.
Okay. And you are a first-year student?
Yes, I am.
Studying?
Medicine, actually.
Ah, good choice. I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks.
And your address?
Yes, it's 13 Chatham Street.
That's C-H-A-T-H-A-M, isn't it?
That's right.
And your phone number?
01734 24655.
01734264555.
No, you got the 6 and the 4 the wrong way round. It's 24655.
Ah, sorry. Right. And when were you born?
On the 15th of June, 1986.
Here in New Zealand?
Yes.
Fine. Now, let's get some of your medical background. Have you ever had any serious illnesses or accidents?
A broken leg I got playing football when I was 17. I was in the school team.
What position did you play in?
I was the goalkeeper.
A lot of standing around then.
Yes, when we were winning.
Right. Anything else?
No, apart from that, nothing.
And have you had any operations of any kind?
No, the only time I've been to hospital was when I broke my leg.
Fine. Any allergies?
Yes, to dust and cats.
What form does that take? How do you react?
They both make me sneeze a bit, nothing else.
So you're not allergic to antibiotics like penicillin, as far as you know?
I don't think so.
Before the conversation continues, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10.
Okay, so let's just focus on 1 to 6. Check your answers with your partners. See what you've got. What was number 1? What was the answer to number one, do you think? If you were wrong, don't worry, because we're going to listen to it again so that you can check your answers. What was
This is a mathematics for faculty of mathematics.
mathematics? Okay, so let's put that there. Okay, and what about number two? What was it? No idea? And number three? What about serious illnesses or accidents? And operations and allergies. What did he say? What?
He have a broken leg and his
Broken
allergies
leg.
is dust.
Allergies to
Dust.
only dust?
Yeah, no. Just have one more.
All right, so listen to the recording again. All right, this time focus on the answers. See if you can get what we need to write down. Off you go.
Listening Section 1. At the doctor's. Exercise 2. Listen to the conversation between Martin and his doctor and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning.
Morning.
Come in. Sit down. Now, you're a new patient, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so I'd better get some basic details down first. Right, we'll start with your name.
Martin Hansen.
Do you spell that S-O-N or S-E-N?
Hansen.
Okay. And you are a first-year student?
Yes, I am.
Studying?
Medicine, actually.
Ah, good choice. I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks.
And your address?
Yes, it's 13 Chatham Street.
That's C-H-A-T-H-A-M, isn't it?
That's right.
And your phone number?
01734 24655.
01734264555.
No, you got the 6 and the 4 the wrong way round. It's 24655.
Ah, sorry. Right. And when were you born?
On the 15th of June, 1986.
Here in New Zealand?
Yes.
Fine. Now, let's get some of your medical background. Have you ever had any serious illnesses or accidents?
A broken leg I got playing football when I was 17. I was in the school team.
What position did you play in?
I was the goalkeeper.
A lot of standing around then.
Yes, when we were winning.
Right. Anything else?
No, apart from that, nothing.
And have you had any operations of any kind?
No, the only time I've been to hospital was when I broke my leg.
Fine. Any allergies?
Yes, to dust and cats.
What form does that take? How do you react?
They both make me sneeze a bit, nothing else.
So you're not allergic to antibiotics like penicillin, as far as you know?
I don't think so.
Before the conversation continues, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10.
Okay. So again, check your answers with your partners. All right, what was the faculty? Mathematics? What was the faculty that he's in? Right, guys, keep in mind that you're going to be doing a listening test for university, and we're here to practice listening right now. Faculty of Medicine. What was the name of the street?
Chatham.
And how do you spell it?
Chatham.
That's right. Good. And what was his telephone number?
014372465.
Not quite right, no. 01
7
7
342 wait 3424655.
Okay, that's correct. All right, good. What about serious illnesses? We said before he had a broken leg, so that's okay. What about operations? Which operations did he have? Did he mention it? Okay, he said that he didn't have any, so he had no operation. And his allergy, dust and anything else? Anybody catch what it was? Dust and cats. Okay, those were the allergies. Okay. Okay, all right, so we're nearly at 1 o'clock. So what we're going to do is we'll do the rest of this on Friday. Okay, I'll have another document sent to you for Friday's class. Do you have any questions about what we've done today? No questions? All right, so I look forward to seeing you all on Friday at 10 o'clock. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.